They say that eating and being horny are biological instincts. Today, we're not talking about eating, just about being horny. When it comes to this topic, most people have seen some borderline suggestive videos, like someone playing the piano with a bare shoulder showing, or cooking while wearing black stockings. Honestly, I really don't understand what the point of these videos is, so I choose to watch them over and over again. We all know that the purpose of genes is reproduction, so in his view, lust is completely in line with the politically correct behavior of biological reproduction. When we see a video that touches the edge, the body will secrete dopamine, making us feel happy. All this is just genes controlling our biological instincts. So for some important learning materials, you are as holy as a Buddha, and you are as evil as a demon, and you don't have to feel ashamed of it. We are all controlled by genes. Some friends may not agree. You say genes control us, but I can eat what I want and have sex when I want. My actions are from my free will. I don't see genes controlling me. Usually when we say control, we mean strong control. For example, when driving, if you step on the accelerator, the car accelerates. If you step on the brake, the car slows down. If you step on the accelerator, the car accelerates. If you step on the brake, the car slows down. If you step on the accelerator, the car accelerates. If you step on the brake, the car slows down. This is what's called strong control. In life, many types of control are strong control, like orders from your boss, instructions from your supervisor, requests from your girlfriend, or tasks from your master. But the way our genes control us is different as we control. From genes to protein synthesis, there's a whole series of complex processes like transcription, translation, and polypeptide folding. The feedback isn't that fast. There's a delay. Meanwhile, the external environment in nature changes in an instant, and we often need to make decisions quickly. If I run into a wild animal in the wild, I can't just wait for my genes to give me an order before I run away. Or, say I meet a beautiful woman on the street, I can't exactly ask my genes for instructions first, can I? If I have to ask my genes before acting, when would I ever get married? Our genes give us some autonomy in choices, but also set strategies by regulating hormones, orchestrating our actions. This set of strategies is called biological instinct. That's why, when you see a wild animal, your instinct is to run. And when you meet a beautiful woman, your body releases hormones, making you blush, your heart race, your throat dry, and you think, even with a lantern, I couldn't find another girl like this. In the end, dopamine pushes you to talk to her, confess your feelings. This is how genes control you. They don't directly make decisions, but influence choices by regulating hormones. Besides instincts, genes govern most of personality. Some are born kind, eager to help hundreds of elderly cross the street, while others have a destructive streak making elderly women pregnant, giving vasectomies to children, committing misdeeds. Genes also determine intelligence. Some score 698 and get into Tsinghua or Peking University, while you score 698 and end up doing essential oil spa treatments. As we mentioned in previous videos, we all like attractive faces and well-proportioned bodies. This too is a decision made by our genes after filtering for reproductive advantages. Speaking of this, it reminds me of a story. There was a wealthy man choosing a girlfriend, and he said, "Whoever can fill this room with 100 yuan, I will choose her." The first woman spent 100 yuan on a lot of cotton and filled the room. The second woman spent 50 yuan on a bunch of balloons and filled the room. The third woman spent 1 yuan on a candle and filled the room with light. So which one do you think the wealthy man would choose? That's right, he chose the one with the biggest chest. You see, this is how our genes control us. They never give direct orders. Instead, it seems like you have complete freedom of choice, but every decision you make is actually within their calculations. Your genes will stop at nothing to steer you toward reproduction, and love is the prerequisite for that. So, when both a man and a woman determine that the other is a suitable partner for reproduction, the wonderful feeling of love arises. This sense of happiness makes the other person's flaws seem like virtues. As the saying goes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If Yifei were my girlfriend, even the way she picks her toes would seem adorable to me. And the reason our genes do all this is so that both parties can truly come together and produce offspring. So that sense of mutual understanding and deep affection is really just a little trick played by our genes. That's also why, even if you and a girl talk about Kafka and Dazai Osamu, discuss Tagore and Van Gogh, or go from French literature to Italian cinema, in the end, you still inevitably end up glancing at her legs. And if love is the positive guidance of our genes, there's also negative guidance. You've probably experienced this feeling as well. As a member of society, As animals, when you've been away from the group for too long, your body starts to feel the pain of loneliness that's your genes at work too. They're reminding you, bro, you've been cooped up at home for too long. It's time to get out, meet someone, and experience the joys of love. So, if you're determined to be a Sigma male, mastering loneliness is a required course. Going back to our original topic, we said that the biological instincts are eating and mating, but strictly speaking, it's really just mating eating is only so you can live long enough to mate and pass on your genes. From the genes perspective, as long as it can be passed on, nothing else matters. That's why in nature, we often see that many animals' reproductive behaviors are actually punitive in nature. Male mantises will voluntarily let themselves be eaten by the female after mating. Octopuses will starve themselves to death after having offspring. For them, once they break their vow of chastity, it's as if their life has come to an end. And as high animals, we're not much better off. Genes see individuals who have already completed their reproductive mission as having no value, so humans age rapidly after passing their reproductive years. While we lament how genes kill the donkey once it's done grinding, it also makes us wonder we're just vessels, and the genes are the true essence. Of course, this view is a bit pessimistic. Biologically speaking, even if we don't achieve anything great in life, as long as we do a good job with eating and mating, you've already been quite successful. But if you don't even have a girlfriend, that can't really be called success. No way, it's already the year 4202. Surely there aren't still people who haven't found a girlfriend, right?